YouTube, a lot of you have called me a hypocrite in recent months because my tier lists are some of my most popular videos, and they're oftentimes how you guys find my content, and also is the #1 content that you guys like to sleep to, weirdly enough. Either way, I made those tier lists a few years ago, and back then I truly believed the opinions that I was saying about the cards. But if you watch me play now, there's oftentimes a number of cards or things that I use now that I said was absolutely dog back then. Just as an example, Sneaky Strike. I said it was an F tier absolute PP doo-doo card, and I actually think it's pretty good now. I think it's pretty solid. I think that this card is an amazing way to go about the game, and that Sneaky Strike can slot into a lot of decks, and honestly, you can have multiple of them. Either way, I hope you enjoy the content. Please let me know what you think of the updated tier lists. And also, one last thing, if everybody in the comments can thank Tara for donating $200 while I wasn't even live streaming, just saying, yo, I've been watching your YouTube content for so long and I felt like you deserve something. Thank you. Holy fucking shit. You sexy fucker. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Like, I'm not good with emotions. I'm not good with expressing myself positively. Anyways, I will see you tomorrow. Mwah.
Chat, people wonder often, what do I pay Armadillo to do? I paid Armadillo to set up all of the tier lists this morning, so they are exactly set up how I had them back in the day. How I had them back when I originally rated the cards. Woo! Are we making new tier lists? I am simply going to be going through my tier lists rather quickly and making amendments, because I can already glance at this and see cards that I liked before that I now don't hold in nearly as high regard. I'm scrolling through this right now, and I'm changing my mind on so many things. Chat, today we're going to be going through, I'm going to try to get through all my tier lists today. If we get a little bored of it, we can split it into a couple days. So this is a little bit dated, and my opinions have greatly changed, like massively changed on a lot of things. Like there's small things, like for instance, Limit Break. I think Limit Break is probably more in like, can I not make adjustments? Wait. Like, I think that Limit Break is probably like A tier now. I would probably put it in A tier. And like, I could go through and like get nitpicky with everything, like maybe Inflame is B tier, but also like it doesn't matter that much. I want to go through and I want to look at things that I think that need major changes. And obviously there's, you know, this is an old tier list, so like things like Dark Embrace and Corruption, they have swapped rarity, so don't pay attention to those. We're talking about how they are today in the game. We're just using the icons as placeholders. Okay, first off, Bash is going in D tier. Why the fuck was that in S tier, man? Why is that in S tier? That makes no fucking sense. Absolutely no goddamn sense. Evolve being an S tier also makes no sense. Put that in B tier. It's good, but it's not great. And I'm just scanning through. I still agree with all of these. These cards are wonderful, amazing. Headbutt maybe could go down a little bit, but I think it's still fucking awesome. Feel No Pain needs to get moved up. We can all agree on that. Feel No Pain needs to get moved up to S tier. It's fucking amazing and incredible. I think I still agree. Combust needs to get at least moved down to C tier. Combust is just it's not useful in most cases. Same with Bludgeon. Get out of there. When Bludgeon is good, obviously it's good. Snecko-Eye represent my brain is cooked, but like Rupture being in B tier? No, try fucking like C or I'm gonna say C tier. Rupture is not that insanely good. What else do we got here? I like all of these. Dark Embrace could probably get thrown up one. Armaments could probably get thrown up one. Blood for Blood needs to get up in S tier. This card is fucking bonkers insane. I love Blood for Blood. That is like a must-take in almost every single one of my Ironclad runs. All right, let's move on to the C tier of the Ironclad. I think Demon Form needs to go up to A tier. I think Demon Form is massively slept on. I think the Demon Form actually is way better nowadays. I think it's very good. Care to explain on your love for Blood for Blood? I think the Blood for Blood is way better at higher Ascensions. And as I played more and more on Ascension 20, you're just naturally going to take more chip damage than on lower Ascensions, because enemies just tend to deal like a little bit more than you can block for without over blocking by a large margin, right? Like dealing 12 damage or 6 damage or just like a little bit more. So it's just really easy to get your Blood for Blood down safely in most combats. Demon form is incredible. Just scanning. I think anger could get moved up to B or maybe even A tier.
The Sponger.
Seeing red could maybe go up. It's kind of shit. But I'm looking down in D tier right now, and Second Wind and Bloodletting, they fucking piss me off that they're all the way down here. First off, Bloodletting, S tier. It is what it is. Bloodletting, I think, might be the best reusable energy generating card in the entire game. I think it is absolutely incredible. Bloodletting is amazing. It is fan-fucking-tastic. Tignal, thank you for the 5 gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Better than Recycle. Recycle requires an upgrade, is only going to be as good as the value of your cards. Recycle is better for its removal than it is for its energy production. And also, Second Wind, I'm going to put in high A tier. I think Second Wind is so goddamn good. I think Second Wind is amazing. I'm even going to move up Whirlwind to B tier. I've been really liking Whirlwind lately. I think that's about it for this tier.
Bloodletting was good was the moment I really clicked with Ironclad.
Huge, man. Here, there's one more. There's one more that I think needs to move up, and it's the homie Flex, man. I don't think that Flex is incredible, but I think it's at least C tier. I think it's way better than I originally thought. I shit on Flex back in the day. I was a Flex hater. I was a Flex naysayer. But I do think we should probably like move Clash down 1, like at least. I also think we should move Searing Blow down to F tier. What am I doing, man? What's so wrong with things like Sever Soul? I think Sever Soul is... Where do I have Sever Soul? Sever Soul is an F tier. I think Sever Soul just doesn't get, like there's no reason that you want it to exhaust. Like, there's no value that you're getting out of Sever Soul instead of playing something like Second Wind, because Second Wind allows you to essentially get the block of 3 defends for 1 mana. And so it's really, really good. This is not giving you anything for needing to exhaust your cards. Like, yes, it could be good in... Like, Sever Soul is good to clear out SS Angers. It doesn't get rid of attacks, bozo. The use cases where you want a Sever Soul is usually where you already have your exhaust engine running. I don't know. It's just, it doesn't function all that well. I also think we should move Searing Blow down to F tier. What am I doing, man? Is Flex worse than Heavy Blade? I think they're kind of even. Maybe Flex is easier to take, but I think Heavy Blade could potentially go to D tier. What about Inferno Blade? Why is it bad? I think the RNG nature of Inferno Blade is bad, and simply because there's things like Perfected Strike and Clash and Searing Blow. Like, there's so many bad attacks that the Ironclad has. It's just not worth it. Like, if you have no strength and you get a Heavy Blade, it's kind of lame. If you have removed all your strikes, Perfected Strike is just going to be dog shit. If you have a burn in your hand, the Clash is going to be dog shit, you know? Seeing Red. The main reason I put Seeing Red here is because Seeing Red is a card that you take when you already have some higher tier stuff. You're not oftentimes taking Seeing Red in its base form. Intimidate doesn't do anything, man. It doesn't do nothing. Ice Combust better than Fire Breathing because it does something on the turn that you play it. And it also synergizes with like Rupture and things like that and other relics and stuff, whereas this only synergizes with like having the entire engine together. Why is Dark Embrace not S tier? To be clear, I'm not going to reorder things. So like Dark Embrace, I think, is like probably the top of A tier, but like I'm not reordering things today to like getting into like the nitty gritty of all of these cards. I don't think Dark Embrace is S tier because I think oftentimes it feels clunky to just throw it in your deck. Like you can throw a Dark Embrace in and it can feel really bad for a while. Whereas if you throw your Feel No Pain in, it feels good much quicker than a Dark Embrace. Also, it's much easier to take 2 Feel No Pains than it is to take 2 Dark Embraces. Headbutt in S tier? I think Headbutt's broken. I do think I would move like maybe Pommel Strike up to S tier. I think Pommel Strike's insane. Is Double Tap really that bad? Double Tap just, again, it needs things with it. Like if I just have a deck full of like strikes, Double Tap doesn't do fucking anything because I'm already going to draw enough strikes to be able to use my mana worth of strikes. Why is Bash in D tier now? I just think there's better ways to get off vulnerable, and I find myself annoyed with having Bash in my deck often, especially as you get into the late game with enemies that have a lot of artifacts like Donu Deka or like the Spire Shield, Spire Spear. Like Bash is just a blight. Kind of sucks. Like, you're stuck with it, so you make it work, but, like, you would never take Bash. Why is Carnage an A tier? Gets you through Act 1 and a lot of Act 2 very easily. Is Hemokinesis that good? Absolutely, yeah. Yeah. Battle Trance, I put an A tier. Wild Strike is in C tier. Isn't it worse? No, because I think Wild Strike can... not only is it like a part of a good combo piece, but I also think can get you through a lot of fights where it deals enough damage that you can kill the enemy before like things come back around. You know what I'm saying? I think you could argue for Hemokinesis in S tier. No, because I think like S tier... I think S tier I save for cards that I want a lot of repeats of. Like, these cards are very good, but I tend to not want multiples of a lot of these, right? Don't want multiple Battle Trances for Battle Trance reasons. You don't want multiple True Grits, because maybe, I mean, you could take multiple True Grits, multiple Shrug-It-Offs, whatever. You don't want, like, multiple Angers, multiple Armaments, multiple Corruptions, multiple Barricades, multiple Spot Weaknesses, multiple Shockwaves, multiple Second Winds. Like, too much is just, like, it ends up consuming your deck too often, or, like, it's awkward when you draw them both together because you, like, one counteracts the other. So that's why I don't have them up in S tier, because S tier I think you can get away with having multiple of. Maybe the only exception there is like Fiend Fire can be hard to slot 2 of them, but I think Entrench is way too high to be conditional. I have actually had a lot of success with slotting in Entrench recently with decks that don't have a Barricade or a Calipers, like have no block retention. All right, let us move on then to the next tier list. All right, give me a second to scan over this. Should we start from the top or from the bottom, chat? Are you guys more of a top or a bottom here? Start from the bottom? Okay. First off, I would like... I would just like to say that I made a severe lapse in my judgment, and it's not who I am as a person. And I know that for the last 2 years, Sneaky Strike has probably felt trauma day in and day out from my foul words and my inexcusable behavior. But I really hope that today they will accept my apology as I move them up into high A tier. Because fuck, I can't stop taking this card, man. Yeah, I think I was very wrong about Sneaky Strike, and I don't know when it was buffed, but it probably was already buffed by the time I did this original tier list. There hasn't been many changes to the game recently. I think I was very wrong on that, very wrong. I also think that like Masterful Stab could get moved up 1. I think Finisher could get moved up 1. I'm gonna say something fucking crazy. I think Choke moves up 2. But I think Choke is actually kind of fucking good, man. I think Choke is pretty good. I've been taking it a lot recently and almost always have an immense amount of success with it. I will also move Doppelganger up. I think it's it's like Doppelganger is kind of like the tiny house of cards, you know, where you're like, I could take one, but like I'd prefer to almost always take something else. But like sometimes you take it and it feels good. Moving on, I think Terror can go up to B tier. I think Phantasmal Killer is going to move up to fucking S tier. Holy fucking shit, that card is good. Scanning. I think Daesh is going to move up to A tier. This is going to be a big one after my time of playing with more and more discard decks. I think we're moving Reflex up to A and Tactician down to B. Because I think you can take a Tactician far before you can, or you can take a Reflex far before you can take a Tactician. I think you can slot a Tactician in before you can slot in you can slot in a Reflex before you can slot in a Tactician. I think it's just better in that direction. Anything else I would like to move around? I think Caltrops could be moved down. Not super into Caltrops lately. I think Flechettes could be moved down. I think it's harder to use than I previously anticipated. I think Gamba is going up to S tier. Absolutely. I think Adrenaline's going up to S tier. Easily. I think that Blade Dance is going up to the top of S tier. This shit's broken now with 3 to 4 strikes. I think Malaise is going up to S tier as well. Eviscerate used to be 4 cost. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. I should move Eviscerate. You're also right. I'll put Eviscerate in, like, the bottom of A tier. I think Eviscerate's really good. I think you can take it all the time now. I think I'm going to leave Acrobatics and in Backflip next to each other. I'm going to move Infinite Blades down to C tier. I think that shit is ass. And then as my final move, I'm going to move Deadly Poison down to B tier. I think it's pretty mid. And then Footwork is going to go to the bottom of A tier. Now to discuss the W tier. Do I think that well-laid plans, and I think Wraith Form absolutely is staying a cut above the rest. That shit is busted. Do I think that well-laid plans is still this good? No. No, I do not. I do not. All right, one last little scan. Bullet Time maybe could get moved up. Okay, this is my new tier list. Chat, I'm open. I am open for your questions and comments. Please move Sucker Punch down. Fuck no. Sucker Punch is very good. Is Catalyst really that bad? Catalyst is just like something you're going to slot in much later, and a lot of times you just don't need it. What is Predator doing in A tier? That's an incredible card. That's why. Storm of Steel only C. Very situational. Die at S tier. Yeah, you could almost always slot one in. Why is 1000 Cuts in D tier? Because that shit sucks ass. Hard to get off. In Venom. Yeah, and Venom could move down to C tier. Shale you. Thank you so much for the 5.
Grand finale in C.
Do you think it should be higher or lower? Because I think it should definitely be. I think it should definitely be right where it is. Because I think you could make it work pretty easily. Prepared? I'm gonna put Prepared right next to the Tactician. Okay. Noxious Fumes in S. Oh, Noxious Fumes is fucking incredible. Yeah, Noxious Fumes is amazing. Just from the standpoint of your poison no longer ticking down. Noxious Fumes is broken. Glass Knife not an S tier. Yeah, because I don't really want multiple of them. Bouncing Flask. I think Bouncing Flask is like difficult to slot in a lot of times and is like sucks ass in multi-person fights. Why is Choke B tier but 1000 Cuts is D tier? Because Choke does a lot more damage. How do you make Choke work? A lot of times with discard decks. Whereas for like 1000 Cut decks, you need like a lot more damage versus like Choke decks, you don't actually need a lot more damage. Isn't Grand Finale way too difficult to enable? I don't think it's nearly as difficult as you think. I think it just takes a lot of brain power. It's kind of like Runic Dome, where the newer players are going to be very scared of it, but the more you get into the game, the more you feel like you can take a Grand Finale. Scribbling Cloud better than Poison Stab? Yeah. So you got to think about what the Silent does, and the Silent doesn't have a lot of good blocking strategies outside of scaling flatly with like footworks and things like that, or by weakening enemies. How do you make long discarding cards when Choke is a 2-cost card? Tacticians, Concentrates, Calculated Gambas. Why is Sucker Punch that high? Because I think there's a lot of, the way that I think about a lot of these tier lists is like, how often are you going to be taking these cards? How often do you see these cards in a streamer's deck? These? All the fucking time. These? Often, but not quite as much. They would prefer to have these. When is Caltrops good? It's good in once you get to like the multi-enemy stuff. So if you don't have like a solution to deal with something like Snake Plant and you just need to like ramp faster because he's gonna outscale your blocking mechanism, or like Stabby Book. Slice in B tier. Yeah, I think Slice is pretty moderately takeable. Masterful in D tier. Yeah, because I think Masterful Stab is really only good in like extremely specific use cases, and then becomes utter fucking dog shit piss ass as the game goes later. Because I compare it a lot to like Carnage, where it's a really good solution early to being able to deal high amounts of damage, but like Carnage still is good later in the game, or has like secondary uses of being able to exhaust itself and giving you block or draw or other mechanics, versus Masterful Stab just being fucking ass. Isn't Backstab comparable to Slice? No. Because I'm not going to take Slice, or I'm going to take Backstab in the early game. And same with Slice, but Backstab I might regret later, because I would rather start drawing my better cards early in the game. Whereas Slice, it's only a chance of drawing the shit card later in the game. It's kind of the way I think of it. I think Blur is W tier. I think Blur is very good. It's an insane mechanic, but Expertise in C. Yeah, I think Expertise is just too hard to get off early. So you're not taking it a lot in the early games. You need a large amount of things that you're already doing in order to slot in an Expertise. But then it becomes very good. I think Nightmare is like the Silent just has so many things that you can use Nightmare with. It oftentimes can feel very difficult to get off, but I think more experienced players can use it quite often and are oftentimes excited to see it. Could Concentrate and move up? No, because you're not just like taking a Concentrate. Like you can always take like a Backflip or an Acro or like any of these cards up here, but like I'm not just like taking a Concentrate outright. Like you need a lot of work and it like costs an upgrade and stuff. But you would put Footwork lower. I am kind of coming around on Footwork, but I also think that it's like a lot of times Footwork just comes like a little bit too late. Yeah, I think Footwork is definitely a noob trap, similar to Demon Form, which is why I put it so low. Demon Form recently, but I think it's a lot better. All right, Silent updated. Yay! Chat, we're halfway done. We obviously need to move Claw down because it is 5 gifted subs to move Claw up 1 level at a time. So, Claw must start at the bottom. All right. Let me give a quick scan, see what I think, see what I want to change. The defects, I think, is going to be the hardest one. Let's start from the bottom again. First off, I would like to move up Streamline to high C tier. I think it's actually pretty decent. Sunder is the next one that I'm looking at that's going to move up to fucking top of A tier. I fucking love Sunder. Sunder's so goddamn good. Let's see... Energy, no, all of these are kind of ass. Reprogram shit. Meteor Strike, get up in fucking A tier, buddy. I learned how to use you in the last 2 years, and that shit's awesome. I think Beam Cell could be moved up to B, maybe even A tier. Yeah, I'll do bottom of A tier. FTL can move up 1. Rebound can move up 1. Reinforced Body can go on top of A tier. That shit bussin'. Boot Sequence could go up 1. I think Recursion could potentially go up. There's a case to be made for Recycle to go to S tier, but I think it's harder to slot in than Turbo, and I kind of want to move Turbo up. So I'm going to move that down. I'm going to keep this here. Rainbow, I think, is good. Heat Sinks, I think, goes down to B tier. Consume, I think, is solid. Cold Snap is great. Chill is amazing. Skim's good. Bullseye? Bullseye goes down to B tier. Capacitor moves up to S tier. Static Discharge moves down to B tier. Dual Cast is going down to B tier. It's going down to B tier. It's good. It helps you out a lot, but just not that good. I think the only power that is up here that I'm moving down is Loop. And I think Loop is going to stay at the top of A tier, but I just think that it doesn't hang with the rest quite is quite the same. All right, quick scan just to make sure I like this. Rainbow and F tier. Wait, why are you guys such Rainbow haters? I know that Pride Month ended a few days ago, but what the hell, man? Why is Creative AI so bad? Because it's really slow and you're only ever getting unupgraded powers. White Noise in B tier? No, I don't like White Noise. Again, the randomness of it, and then also the lack of upgrade is like meh. And the fact that these two both can't give you self-repair. So you have great success with Tempest. Yeah, and Blizzard. And all of these cards. Cards that are lower tier just means that they're takeable less often. Yeah, I think Rainbow is really good for cycling your orb slots and also gives you a good dark orb because the dark orb is in the back. I think that when you have orbs in place and then you play Rainbow, you get so much value out of it that it is amazing. I think Rainbow's solid. I like Rainbow. I take Rainbow all the time. Barrage in A tier? No, I think Barrage is an S tier card. That shit carries your runs. Vision moves up. No, because Vision like needs an upgrade. Otherwise, it's just like absolute piss. Why is Buffer not an A? Because I don't like it. Talk about Hello World, because I think you undervalue that card. I think maybe I do, and I think Hello World is a really, really good thing to be able to take early game, to be able to deal with like consistency and boss fights of always having a better card than strikes and defends and like Act 1 boss fights. I think that it falls off heavily late game, and if it ever accidentally gets upgraded by the copious amount of events that upgrade random shit in your deck, I think you just cry. Like the amount of times that I've taken a Hello World early and then immediately gotten the Shining event, and you click on that shit, take 20 damage, and then have a permanent innate Hello World just makes me fucking cry my eyes out. That shit sucks ass, man. I think Leap and Auto Shield should be higher. Where do I put Auto Shields? Yeah, I think Auto Shields could be in C tier. I'm gonna keep them there, though. Any W cards? I think if there is one card, it's a cut above the rest. It's definitely Echo Form. I think Echo Form could sit up here. Can't find Corsair right there. Is Skimmel that good? Yeah, 4 draw for 1 mana is insane. How good is Claw actually? I'd put Claw in like C or B maybe. But I like to play with chat's heart, and nobody is gifting subs to move Claw up, so I'm adding on sucks at the end. So everybody knows that Claw fucking sucks. I think Multicast is above C tier. Nah. I find that most of the time that I take Multicast, it's like a win condition to beat the Act 2 boss, and then by the time you get to Act 3, it's just like not that good. All right. Chat, 3 out of the 4 characters down. This is going much faster than I thought it would. Alpha going in S tier, I'm calling it now. I mean, chat put Alpha in A tier last time. And pressure points in S tier. I am going to move Conjure Blade down. I'm going to move Signature Move up. I'm going to move Study up. I'm going to move Pray up to be alongside the Prostrate, but then I'm going to move Prostrate up to B tier because I think it's slightly better. All right. We are going to take Carve Reality. We're going to put Carve Reality in B tier. I think it's a lot better than I thought. Judgment can go up to C tier. It's kind of but it's good. Eruption's going up to A tier. Reach Heaven's going up there as well. We can put Deus Ex Machina up 1. We can put Ragnarok up 1. Keep Swivel where it is. We can take Deva Form, put it down to D tier. That shit kind of sucks butts. Windmill Strike goes down to C tier. That shit kind of sucks butts. Flying Sleeves I think as well. It's okay early, but like it's just sucks butts. Fasting's going up to A tier. I love that card. Nirvana is going down to D tier. That shit sucks butts. Protect is going to C tier. I think that shit kind of sucks butts. Weave is going down to D tier as well. I think I'm going to take Alpha and put it in F tier where it belongs. You paid me in the past, but you didn't pay current me, chat. I'm going to put Mental Fortress up in S tier. I'm going to put Collect down in C tier. I'm going to put Indignation in B tier. I'm going to put Simmering Fury. No, I think it's still A tier. Wave of the Hand. Crescendo, I think, can go in S. I think Tantrum can go in S. I think things that get you into Wrath are just, like, oftentimes way better. These are good. These are good. This is good. This is good. Just Lucky can probably get moved down to A tier, maybe even B. Foresight's going down to C. That's a crazy switch. And then Pressure Points is going to go into F tier as well. Bang! I think I'm good with this. Let me scan real quick. Oh, no. Third Eye goes to S. Third Eye's broken. That shit's broken. I'm going to put Wallop up to A tier. I'm going to put Conclude up to A tier. Okay. I think I'm good. Foresight is way too low. Now that shit kind of sucks. Deus Ex Machina in B. Yeah, I've been using it a lot more lately. It's really good to like scroll and stuff. Ult's only in B tier. Yeah, I don't think you're slotting it in all that much. Wave of the Hand A. Yeah, I think that it's good to have one, but like, I don't know. Empty Fist S. Yeah, Empty Fist is broken. That shit does 28 damage for 1 mana. Establishment. I love a good Establishment deck, man. Why is Rushdown so low? Bozo. Reno Evil in A tier? Yeah. I think it is probably in contention to go to S. Indignation way too low. No, I haven't been taking it a lot lately. I feel like it's really hard to take. I feel like it's not as good as taking something that gets you into Wrath and then also is an attack or something that you can like hold on to for a specific turn. Where's Talk to the Hand? Right there. Wish could be S? No. No. Wish is good, but Wish is very gimmicky. Sands of Time in S? Oh, Sands of Time is insane, dude. Sands of Time is so fucking good. 52 damage for 0 damage, or for 0 mana? Holy, bro. Blasphemy still A tier besides being upgrade dependent. The Watcher tends to like smaller decks in general, so I don't think that it is super upgrade dependent. Frustrated in B. Yeah, I think that Mantra, although I'm a sucker for it and I really like to go for Mantra decks, they're definitely not as good as Wrath decks, and the best card out of the 4 Mantra cards, is definitely Prostrate. As Deus Ex and B, I feel like you can take it in literally any Watcher deck. No, you could take it, but it's not needed. Just takes up a draw slot. It's kind of bad. I always thought Inner Peace was better than Meditate. No, I think Meditate is like insanely good. Because a lot of times your deck struggles to find more Wrath enablers. And so being able to like play your Eruption every single turn, I think is really, really good. I also think that it combos well with Establishment. Yeah, I think it just allows for like way too much setup. It's just insane. Fasting in B. No, Fasting's an A. I think Fasting's incredible. I think Fasting is OP, man. It just takes like some thought to use, and you're not going to take a late game if you're already like winning. You know? Is Sash Whip that good? Yeah, I think Sash Whip is very good. I think maybe Follow Up is too high. Maybe Follow Up should go like here. This tier list is pretty accurate, I think, but is really just Watcher as one clear winning way to play. Mantra, Alpha, and all this other gimmick shit. It's just gimmick by comparison. Yeah, Wrath is just too easy to obtain, and then you just do too much damage. You think Mark deserved to exist more than without mods? I think that maybe it's just wasted on this character. Maybe. Like, it just doesn't seem to fit. But lesson learned in S tier? Yeah, this shit broken, bro. That shit butt nasty. What about Vault? I'm going to take an infinite number of Vaults. So yeah, why would I not be S tier? Actual rating for Pressure Point? F tier. These are accurate ratings for Pressure Points. These are accurate. I think both of these are F tier cards. Does Omniscience ever move down? No. It enables way too many engines. If it wasn't the Watcher, yes. Master Reality and F tier? Yeah, you never take that shit. Because you're going to take it with, like, S tier cards. If Alpha placed it into your hand, would it be better? Yeah, that shit would be busted. We did all our tier list! Everybody clap! Everybody clap! We did it!